All righty. So thank you so much, everybody, for joining today. Jimmy McNally here with Century 21 Beggins down here in the shiny state of Florida. Oh, we got some more coming in. Let's see here. Before we kind of get going, I'm going to introduce myself a little bit more, give a little bit of background. But I know we have a mixture of a lot of different people that are going to be on today. So I was hoping maybe if you wouldn't mind chatting in, maybe throwing something in chat, you can unmute and say hi or whatever it is, but let me know where everybody is from. I know I got a lot from Florida and a lot from my brokerage on this call. So if you wouldn't mind, let's go ahead and let me know where you all are from. All right, Myrtle Beach. Okay, Elizabeth, I got family in Myrtle Beach. Hopefully the weather is fantastic up there like it is down here, except for all the rain. New York's Hilton Head, very nice. Perfect weather. I love it. I love it, love it, love it. Port Charlotte, very cool. Well, thank you so much for the interaction so far. That's a good start for the day. That's good start for the day. So let me get in here. I'm going to share my screen. One moment. And there's Kathleen. Hey, Kathleen, how you doing? So again, my name is Jimmy McNally. I'm from Century 21 Beggins. I am a realtor / sales manager of a couple offices that we have. We are actually the #1 Century 21 in the state of Florida, which is pretty cool. We have over 400 agents. Hey, Kathleen, how you doing? No birdies today? I'm just kidding. You send me some birdies later, okay? When we're done, I need to see the bird. I need to see the bird. Anyways, so and I just want to give you a little breakdown on myself and why you're actually seeing these trainings. You're going to see actually quite a few from my brokerage that are on here, because honestly, the more training, the more comfortable you get using Moxie, the easier it is. So I've done this training somewhat before, but you can always learn a little bit more as you go through. And you know, I don't work for Century 21 Corporate. I don't work for Moxie. I don't work for Realogy / anywhere. I'm just a guy that always likes the latest and greatest when it comes down to kind of technology. It's pretty easy for me to learn and to teach out. And, you know, I kind of was the guy that kind of jumped in with rolling this out with the support from the rest of my leaders to be able to have a great launch with Moxie. And we started out with Moxie Present actually back in like October, November area. Just finished the launch in March when it comes down to Moxie Engage, Moxie websites. And this is kind of the third training so far that we're having on the platforms. So for those of you, let's throw this out there too for everybody that is on here so far. How many people have launched Moxie, completely launched? Because today we're going to be talking about Moxie websites. So thank you for jumping on the camera too, Kat. I appreciate it. Love you a long time. I just want to see where everybody is at with their launch. They've launched completely. If they have not, if they're partially through it, maybe even on, you know, when it comes down to Moxie websites, you've actually launched that already. So let's see what we got. Yes, pre-launch. Okay, Janet, very cool. We got learning still. Donna, yes. Pre-launch. Okay, cool. You should get a lot out of this for the ones that have pre-launch, and those that have already gone, maybe you have not even gone into this part of Moxie yet with Moxie websites. So I'm going to actually walk you through some pretty easy things that you need to do, give you some pointers on what you need to, you know, be prepared for the launch. And then after you are launched and you have access to this. And then if we have time, I'm even going to show you how you can really customize, you know, Moxie websites. Now, when you look at the launch so far, if you haven't gone yet, like it is in a specific type of, thanks, Kat. Thank you. I needed that. I needed that. You'll see that obviously Moxie has quite a few different options, right? So you start off with Moxie Present, Moxie Impress. Today we're going to talk about Moxie websites. Your Moxie Present and Moxie Impress is all about marketing, giving you some very beautiful, professional looking presentations that you can, you know, to really step yourself ahead of everybody else that you're already talking to. Moxie Engage is going to be your CRM that's going to take over, since everybody on here is Century 21. That will be taking over Business Builder and Zap when it launches, and eventually those will be sunsetted, and you'll be, you know, good to go. And then Moxie Talent's going to be more on the manager standpoint. Now, before we do get into Moxie website, I do want to call out where you can find help. Okay, so there's a help feature that I will show you as I'm going through the website where you can actually easily find answers to possible questions that you may have. If you go to C21 University, there's a whole new section of Moxie trainings. This is brand new. Well, not brand new. I guess it's about a month old, but they listened to what we were saying for our kind of pre-launch companies, and they have a plethora of training available on C21. So for those of you who have not done any of that, get in there. It's some self-paced learning that you can get comfortable with. Moxie Works Education too. I'll send out that link with the recording when this is completed. That is done specifically from Moxie, but it is it's self-paced. You can kind of very easily go through all the different aspects of Moxie. If it's Moxie Present, Moxie websites, and also on an admin manager level too, they'll give you some things that you can do because, you know, obviously on the management level and admin, you have a brokerage website you got to deal with. You also have presentations and campaigns that you can make for the brokerage. And then finally, along with all the other trainings that are there, the trainings that I'm doing, you also have Moxie Works Hours, which is a bi-weekly training, hour-long, that is run by Realogy, Century 21 agents and managers that have been rolling this out, just giving best practices and showing you some really cool stuff. So I'll send all those links out after the meeting, and when I send the recording of this, and you'll be able to click log in and register for some of those trainings and get going. But I know you don't want to hear me just talking, because we all know I can just talk. So let us go ahead and get moving. As we're going through, feel free, please, to throw any questions that you have up in the chat, and I hopefully will be able to answer them for you. Just making sure I'm sharing my screen. Okay. So for those of you who have not logged in ever before or need a refresher on where do I log in to get into Moxie, you could go a few different routes, but the first time, the easiest way to do that is going to be coming into 21 Online here, log in, click on your menu over here, and we're going to scroll down and go to Productivity Hub. That's where you're going to find pretty much all the tools that Century 21 has to offer. Now, to make this short and sweet, you can search for Moxie and go that way too, but it's all in alphabetical order. And we know that Moxie starts with an M. So instead of trying to read every single one of them, let's go down, let's find Moxie. You'll see Moxie Engage, Moxie Impress, Present, Talent, and Websites. Now, if you have not launched yet, you will not have these tiles in 21 Online. So you will not be able to access your Moxie this way. And honestly, until you launch, you won't have access anyways. So for some of the brokerage that may have launched Moxie Present and Moxie Impress first, those are going to be the only two options that you're going to have at this time. You're going to click more on any of these because they're all pretty much going to take you to the same place. Now, this will walk you through Moxie website, give you a nice little video of it. And then if you come down, you'll even see some broker training and some downloads and things that you can actually do. Take the time if you haven't launched to do this, but it just gives you another aspect of what you're looking at here. We're going to click Access Moxie Websites. Now, what's going to happen is anytime on 21 Online, when you get to your login screen, this is where you're going to pull in from Moxie. Okay, and this is basically your account page per se. So there's a couple things you could do. If you look on my website here, you're going to see this mymoxie.century21.com. You can save that URL if you want. So all you have to do is literally, you'll see here, mine says Moxie. So if I click this little star and it pulls up, if I click Moxie, it's going to bring me directly to Moxie, directly to the login screen for Century 21. You're going to have your two-factor authorization that we just launched not long ago that you have to deal with. And the cool thing with Moxie is you could see here, you see Moxie Present, you see Moxie Engage, you see My Website, Impress, Promote, and Directory. So you see all of the Moxie modules right here on the top. So no matter which one you log into, you're going to be able to get in here and go between all three of them or four of them with Moxie Impress. I'm going to close out some of these other ones real quick so we can get kind of moving in here. Now, I clicked on Engage. Sorry about that. I need to go to the website one. At any point, if you need to get to your account, you just click on the right over here, drop down box, and you'll see My Account, and you're going to see us go right back to that account page that you need to. Now, I get a question on this all the time. Hey, I don't like this picture. So for those of you who have not launched, one of the first things you want to make sure you do is you want to make sure you have an updated headshot. Okay. You want to make sure your bio is updated and make sure all your social media platforms are updated and ready to go. So that way, specifically with Moxie websites, you'll have those available, because this profile picture doesn't just go here. It goes into Moxie Engage, to all of your campaigns you send out, all of your presentations. It will be on your website, and also will be on Century 21's website. It kind of goes out all over the place. So you cannot change this yourself when you're looking at Moxie Engage and Moxie Present, but I'll show you some of the things in Moxie websites that you can do. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the website. Close some of these other ones while this is loading up. Actually, what I am going to do is I'm going to switch users, because I want to show you, I've done a lot to my website, and I will pull it up and I will show you. But I'm going to show you somebody else's that hasn't done a ton of custom work. So it gives you an idea of right out of the box what the what it's going to look like. Okay, so I'm going to use Chris Reed. He's my other sales manager over here. Now, one of the things I want to tell you about the website, because a lot of people are like, I need my website up. I need my website up. Listen, Zap is still here. If you have people that are already on searches on Zap, it hasn't gone away. They're on campaigns. They're doing all that kind of stuff. So yes, it could take time for you to set this up if you want to, but if you already have people on that, they're already searching and they're already playing around with your Zap website, and they're already set up in that search functionality. So, but once you get this website up and going, then you can take people off of those searches. You have your website ready to go. You have them in Moxie Engage, and you're doing those things, which is going to be, really cool. But your website is only as good as the people that are actually getting on the website. Just because you go in and you do this doesn't mean you're going to get 750 leads this week because your website's out there for everybody to see. I know that people do promote their website and they pay for it to be on Google, so it can move up in the search engines and things like that. And we're going to do some things today to make sure that it's turned on and that it is accessible, for people to actually see it when they are searching. But your website is only as good as how much you're using it and the people that are getting on it. Just keep that in mind. Now, one of the cool things that they've done with this is, I think this is super, super easy. If you're an agent that does not want to take a ton of time making custom pages and custom landing pages and custom this and custom that, because to me, this isn't web design like 101. It's a little bit below that, but you can really get into the website and really do some cool things. And I'm going to show you some of the things that I did on my personal website, so you can kind of see what the capabilities are. But if you're not a techie person and you don't want to spend a ton of time on this, there is not a lot that you have to do, because this is basically ready to go after just clicking a few things, and ready to go out of the box. So when you get into Moxie, when you get into the website, this is going to be your homepage. And this is where, as an agent that does not like doing a ton of different things, this is where I'd spend the majority of your time. When you're done doing something, go back to the homepage, because this is going to give you all of the common tasks that you have here that most people are going to use when building their website or changing stuff on their website. So don't get confused when you see all of these different things, because you can really go down a rabbit hole on privacy settings, meta tags, script. Like, what does this even mean? Nobody even knows. Now, there are people that actually know this stuff, but you don't have to. That's one of the nice things with Zap, is it was basically done. You changed a few things and you're ready to go. Well, this is going to be very similar, but there's a lot more customizability and easy customizability that you didn't have in the prior platforms. So first thing everybody always asks me is, what is my URL? If you've never logged in, it's going to actually ask you to kind of type in what you want your URL to kind of be. I've already passed that, and most of the people from my brokerage hopefully have already gone through this. So the easiest way to see what that URL is for your new website is click up here, because at any time you can go, you're only going to see, unless you're a manager or an admin, you're only going to see the visit site, add some things here, homepage, appearance. If you click visit your site, it's going to pull up here. You can see I have both, right? So I have my website open, and I have kind of the editor, I guess you could say, and admin things that you can do with your website. So now this is chrisreedrealtor.com is actually a domain that he paid for. And I'm going to show you how you can push that and actually have this come up with your new Moxie website. But I am going to have to go back here. I got to show you one other thing, because we did set this up. If you look here, It's Chris Reed-C21 Beggins Enterprises.sites.c21.homes. Fantastic, right? Really long. Add that to your business card if you want to. Have a great time. But that's what it's going to be set up out of the box, something similar to that. Now ours is C21 Beggins Enterprises. Yours might look a little bit different for the other brokerages. But to see what that's going to look like, just click visit site and you're going to have that URL that's up there. Okay. All right, so now we're back to the homepage. So you're getting in this the first time. The first thing you want to do here is come over here to your personalize your site style. Okay. And again, this is for like, if you're not going to be that super techie doing all this kind of stuff, this is, I'd go literally go down this list, have it set up and ready to go. You have two options. Okay. Two options up front. Again, you can make your own custom page. We're not going to get too crazy into that now, but you have two options. You have search focused, which is what you see here. Okay, so the very first thing you see is this search functionality. Then you're going to see some custom searches, pretty basic, but not bad looking. Looks pretty good, right? You can come over here and click agent focus. Now, this is the cool thing when using this and playing with pages and seeing what they look like. If I click on this and I hit publish, it doesn't take very long for it to change. Now, remember what it looked like here, right? So I'm just going to go ahead and refresh this. And you're going to see a little bit of a change, right? So the agent is more centered with his bio because we added that. There is the search functionality, so it's still there, but just kind of the entrance on the homepage is just a little bit, looks a little bit different. And you see how fast that changed just by hitting publish. Now, publish means it's available for the public. Now, this is the thing. If you have not gone through and actually made your website searchable yet, it's okay. You're fine. And I'll show you how to hide pages if you're working on stuff and doing it from there. So again, first thing, you're going to choose which one you want and then hit publish. You will not be able to create a custom page right off the bat until you pick one of these first. So once you pick these, then you can go in, you can build a page if you want to. We are not going to spend time on making a custom homepage right now. But like I said, always use this home feature to come back and start changing stuff when you're first getting started. Now, next up here, it talks about personalizing your homepage. Like, we're literally just going down this list. If you want to get your website up and going, just literally go down this list here and you're going to be set up and ready to go. So now we are coming here to our homepage, and the homepage is called home. You can change that, as you can see here. You see how it says home right here, right? So there's your homepage. Now, this is pretty cool. You get the option of choosing that image. So this is what I did on the last training. I changed it. Now we live in Florida. So we don't get to see snow very often, right? So we mixed it up a little bit, you know what? But let's go ahead and change what that looks like. So you can either upload your own photo. Now, whenever you're uploading photos onto your website, you're going to get this little thing that's going to pop up and say, you either own the copyright of this photo, you took it yourself, or you have permission. So if you upload something, you better make sure it's your picture. Okay. Last thing you want is someone to come in and say, I own that picture. You're using it on your website and have to deal with copyright issues. Okay. So you can upload it from your computer. You can go to an image gallery. Now the image gallery, these are things that are already preloaded in here. Already preloaded some beautiful pictures. Pick what works for you. I don't think a picture of like sand and stuff like that and a cactus makes sense for Florida, but whatever you want, these are already here. So you know what? I'm going to actually pick this just for fun. I have to bring this down a little bit. Sorry. Gotta love Zoom, how it takes over the entire screen. There's that one. Oh no, I like this one. Come on, move this. Oh, that's what I need to do. Sorry, I need to move my Zoom thing real quick so I can fix this real quick. All right, so we're gonna go in here. We're adding and again, this is that banner that we were looking at prior. Okay, let's see. I got a chat in here. Upload Batman. I should. You think I should put Batman on his? And by the way, for those of you who don't know, I do something. I dress up like Batman, and I do stuff with houses and real estate. So if you feel like it, go and look up #BatRealtor. Have fun with it. Actually, you'll see it when I get to. You'll see it when I get to show my pages. Man, what? I just need to pick one already and call it a day. You're going to click select for custom area. You can see here on the right that the picture changed, right? Now, you also see a couple options here when they talk about text color. Okay, the reason that's important is when you look at the page, you see how everything is white here. And again, we're not going custom. This is very basic. So you don't get a ton of options when it comes down to, you don't get a ton of options on the basic homepage unless you're going to do custom pages. But you look at this. So if I come back here and it's really dark, I'm not sure if white's going to work, but I can check between white and dark and I can make some adjustments. Okay. So I'm going to do that, and I'm going to scroll down and I'm going to publish it just so you guys can see what the picture is going to look like. So now we'll go ahead and let that load up real quick. I feel like I'm having issues. You guys can still hear me, right? Yeah, I feel like I just lost internet. That's not okay. There we go. Whew. I love technology, right? Okay, now we're back. Hopefully we're rocking and rolling. Make sure I don't think it's saved that one because we're still back. Okay, see, boom. So this is what it looks like after I made that little change. Doesn't look bad at all, right? White looks good. White lettering looks good. Boom. I think I'm going to leave it like that. The other things you could do here too is you can change kind of what that text looked like. So if you have your website up, you can see what this stuff says. So find your dream home. That's what you see right here. Okay. Scroll down here, you can add a title, name. That you can choose your own image on this point right here. Okay. So this is the only place in Moxie that you are able to upload your own picture. Only place. Moxie Engage will not let you. Moxie Present will not let you. You have to go through Dash or your admin to change that. But here you could choose an image if you wanted to do something like that. So take the time here to fill out your information, whatever you want, phone numbers, things like that. There's also a custom text area, which is this next section right here. And when we look at our website, that's this part right here. So you're going to have this blank right now if you were to do your website the first time. Here, he just decided to go ahead and take his bio and put it in there. Maybe you want to talk about the real estate market. Maybe you want to just kind of talk about the area that you service, whatever it is. You have that you can even throw a picture or something in there if you want. You can throw pictures, you could do a video. And when you have these cool little boxes here, I can add media, which I could add a photo. I could add photos that are already there. Now, I'm not going to go extremely crazy on that there, but you do have some basic functionality here where you can add media, you can add what links, you can add YouTube videos, you could do all those kind of things. And again, I'll show you on mine how I kind of changed it a little bit. Again, we're still going down the website, right? Next up is featured properties. You can see here, featured properties. This is what it's called. You can change it to whatever you want. Here, though, you have the option of choosing what property list you want to be there. So let's say, for instance, you are a newer agent, you don't have a ton of listings right now. You can come in here and click my office listings or my company's active listings. So you have something that's showing up under your featured properties. You could also click just your active listings, your sold listings, or just featured properties, whatever you want to do there. Now, I will show you how to change this as we get a little bit further down the list of the things that we have there. You can also add a custom search here. So you could see our main office is in Apollo Beach. So you can see here how we have featured properties, and the next up is a custom search. You could see more listings from waterfront search in Apollo Beach. So here we literally made a search for our area, just waterfront properties right on his homepage, which is pretty cool. And I'll show you how to do custom searches where you can do those kind of things. If you are blogging, this is where you can add your blog. And then you can also add links in modules. I've had people take like Moxie presentations for like a seller presentation and actually throw it in here. Hold on one sec. Here. All right, cool. So any questions on that first page? Just because I'm publishing and I'm going to go back home now. All right, cool. Amy, I could see you. Thank you so much for logging in. I appreciate it. So you don't have to like unmute or anything, but thank you. So that was personalizing. And now let's talk about customizing your default search area. So again, you just click these and pretty much go down it. Now to set up a property search, this is how easy it basically is to do it. Now some may get confused when you look at this because you're like, what the heck is this? How do I set up a search? This is so confusing. Well, look, the easiest way to construct your custom search is to execute a search on your site and then copy and paste. Okay. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to the website here. I'm going to search for a property, and I already did a Palm Beach. Let's do Riverview, Florida. So you're literally going to run a search and you're going to filter and tweak it the way that you want to for your custom search. And just so you know, if you haven't been making CMAs with Moxie Present and going and setting up faves and saves and all that kind of stuff, it's the same search functionality that you have in Moxie Present, Moxie Engage. It's across the board. It's the same thing. So here I could filter. Let's say I want waterfront properties, and I'm going to say, let's go price 500. I want at least $500,000. And I want waterfront properties in Riverview. Well, we don't have a ton of water in Riverview, but hey. So what you're going to do is once you make this search, you're literally just going to copy this URL. Super, super long, but you're going to copy it. You're going to go back to your site pages. And what this is going to tell you to do is you need to copy that link, but it needs to start at the search / right? So I'm going to paste this real quick just to show you how confusing it looks. But remember, we need it to start right there, which if you look is actually right here, right? So I just need to delete this. You preview it, should work. That's the property search I just set up. It's that easy. So you can make 20 of these. I've seen websites where they'll go in and they'll say property search, and it'll come down, and let's say there's specific areas that you work in. Let's say you're working at the beaches, you're working at Palm Beach, you're working Riverview, Waimama, you're working Clearwater Beach, Indian Rocks Beach, Madeira Beach. You can actually set searches up specifically for that. And when you come down this drop down here, you can actually set that up to actually show Madeira Beach searches, all that kind of stuff when you're making pages. So that's how easy it is to actually set up a custom search. Any questions on that? All right, we're going to move down a little bit now. Let's see. Let's talk about, I don't want to go to the pages yet. We're going to scroll down and we're going to touch manage your property list, since we were just talking about your homepage and kind of what showed up on featured properties, your my listings, company listings, and things like that. So these are the different property lists that are kind of already set up for you. So you know how we said, my actives, my solds, featured properties. And I get this a lot, like, there's not as many listings that are out there, right? So, you want something to kind of pop on your website. You want to show that there's listings and use your brokerage listings. It's okay. If I come down here and I edit, this is where you're going to see what kind of properties they're actually pulling up. So when you look at this, you can see that I can do my company's active listings. I can exclude pending, recents, and I can actually even come down here and add specific properties that I want them to see. So these are the ones that are actually populating because it's set up from high price to low price under my company's listings. But you can actually come through here and adjust. You could put my company's open houses. You can put sold listings, my recent rented listings, active listings, recently listed. I mean, these are all different feeds that you can actually do, which is pretty fantastic. So when we talked about, back here, I'm going to go to his homepage real quick. When we were at his homepage and we started seeing these featured properties, remember that's what we chose. We could change that to my company listings, or my company open houses, or my company this, or my company that, and really call out some cool properties. All righty. We already talked about managing them. Okay, let's go back and let's talk a little bit about these menu links. So when you click this, it's going to take you to your site pages. So there are menu links that you can actually add URLs that will take you to specific websites. So you're able to kind of link this. If you have a different website, if you have, let's say you have a specific Facebook page that you want to send people to, you can actually add some of those links here if you want to. You know, most of the time, again, when you're just trying to get your website set up, you're going to spend time on your personalizing the site style, your homepage, maybe doing some basic search links and search areas. You want to manage what the property lists look like, and then you want to make sure your testimonials, social media are all set up before you kind of get going. Now, client testimonials. When you click on this, you're going to see something that we did here. A lot of people ask, does this tie into Real Satisfied and automatically get updated like our Zap website actually did? All right, this is taking a minute here. And the short answer is no at this moment. But you can set up a widget, which I'll show you once we go through the rest of these. I'll show you how to set up a widget that will automatically sync with your Real Satisfied. So, and have it scrolling through and update it. This does not want to work. So you'll see here on the About Me section, this is going to be what his testimonials look like. So here, this is what your basic testimonial page looks like. So basically, the easiest way that I can explain to get testimonials on here at first is to copy and paste them. Nobody likes to hear that, but go to your website now and literally just copy and paste them. You'll see here, I actually went to his Real Satisfied surveys and I literally just copied them into here. So this will take a little bit of time at first, but if you just want to get some testimonials on there, so your About Me page is up to date, that's the easiest way to, that's probably the easiest way to do it. That looks pretty good. Any questions on that? And literally, you're going to go in here and you can type and then literally copy and paste. What was that? I heard someone coughing. What's up? Talk
That was me, Jimmy. I'm laughing because you're like, just go here and get them. But I'm like, where do I go to get them?
Okay. So, well, there's a few places, but if you have so do you have, is this website up or is your old Zap website up or anything like that?
I'm following you right along. So I'm up.
Okay.
I'm on C21 online.
So what I would do, and I'll show you this in Zap since we have it. I try not to say that 3-letter word now that we have Moxie. But now I've changed mine is already, if you go to my website, it's already my Moxie website. But what I would normally do at this point is I would go to the other website that I had. In this case, I'm going to go to Dash. And easiest thing to do is when you go to, you can go to my website here. And I'm going to view it because I can't get to it any other way because I don't remember what my website actually was.
Mm-hmm.
And I literally would I'd either come down here to my testimonials here and literally just copy and paste, like literally go to the bottom of all my testimonials. Oh, not that far. Come on. And I'd copy it and then I'd come back to my site pages and I would paste it right here.
Okay.
The other thing you can do is if you're comfortable getting into the QSS and Real Satisfied on 21 Online, you can actually go in there and you can get an RSS feed and copy that entire page from there. That's without making a custom page. Now I'll show you how to do a custom page and add the widget. It just takes a little bit of time. Let's get out of these because I don't like that. Back here. And again, at any time, and I kind of didn't show you this before, but this little help button is going to be on every single piece of Moxie. So Moxie Engage, Moxie Websites, Moxie Present. If I wanted to see how to get real, see if this pops up in here or not. This is where you can actually do, yeah, it didn't listen to what I was saying. But this is where you can start searching for help. See, this doesn't really do much. So I would actually go, the other support page that I like is Moxie Works. Oh, come on. That's not where I wanted to go. Man, talk about having internet issues. Okay, I'm going to let that load up. Okay, I'm going back to the homepage. So take the time to add some testimonials so it looks good. Now I will show you what mine looks like. Man. So I made a custom page for testimonials and I wanted to kind of pop a little bit more. So I actually uploaded pictures from the houses that were either sold and so I added basically, I added everything from my Zap website and added a photo and made a custom page to kind of make it look a little bit different. That's all. But I'll show you how you can do that towards the end. Okay, so you've personalized your website. You've personalized the homepage. You've done some searches. You made some, maybe you made some links. Maybe you did a blog. Maybe you set up a property list. You did some time putting some testimonials in there. Next up is adding your social media accounts to the site. Now, this is the thing. You can't do this. You can see that I cannot do this. Okay. You cannot add your own social media accounts. When you click modify this, it's going to take you back to your account page, which I don't want to do, but I just did anyways. To add your social media accounts, you actually need to get with whoever your admin is, whoever puts things in Dash, because your profile picture, your bio, your social media accounts, and the last thing when you're done with your website is going to be your new URL, whatever that URL is that has been made up for you. Once you log in the first time, you need to send all of those to whoever accesses Dash and throws and puts it in there. They will update that. So then you will actually see, you can see here where the website is facebook.com/teamread1. That has to be put into Dash to be able to hit these aspects here. Okay. And then the last thing you'll need to make sure you send, so whatever your URL is going to be, that you also need to send that to whoever's going to be updating in Dash, because at this point, if you have not done that yet, it still has your Zap website set up as the main account. And that kind of sucks because if you don't have the new one on there, even on some of your Moxie Present stuff, if they click your website, it will take you to Zap until you're ready with this. So my biggest thing to tell you is when you're done going through this home screen, clicking all these, making your pages, making sure you're comfortable, you want to make sure you have your updated profile picture, your updated bio, any of your social media accounts you want to actually show up on here, and your new URL to whoever does and puts things into Dash. So that way they can update it across the board for you. The reason it's not done automatically for you is not everybody's at this point where they're pushing out their website and everything anyways. And as a brokerage and as a company, and I don't think we just don't want a website not out there. We need something for them to access you and show you what's going on. Okay, so same thing. Here's your setup, your blog. Click on that if you do have a blog. I know I have some agents that actually do that. You can actually tie in your blog directly to the your website, which is pretty cool. So they can actually see some of your content there. After you've gone through basically the 7, 8 links, 10 links, whatever they are, the next thing you're going to want to do is you want to come over here and apply for an SSL cert. If you have not set up your website yet, you're going to notice when you go to your page that it is not going to be locked. It is not going to be secure. They do this for a reason. They're not doing anything until you get your website set up. It's just not going to be, it's not secure. And it's also not visible to search engines. So we're going to show you that there. So all you're going to do is you're going to click here where it says go there. Now you're going to see that mine has already been enabled. You're going to have a little box that you can check that's going to say, hey, can I turn this on? You want to check the box and you want to hit OK. And then what will happen is, and now I can take some time. So some of these next steps may take, I'm going to say 24 to 48 hours. It's not always the case, but it could take 24 to 48 hours. But once this has been done, now a lot of you may see it right away because once that's done, your website automatically changes and you see this little lockbox here. And that means it's basically locked, which basically means it's HTTPS, not just HTTP. Pretty simple. Did you find that okay, Amy? Okay.
Super easy.
All right, awesome. Now, next thing you're going to do is once you're comfortable with all that, you're going to scroll down here and you're going to click on where it says make your site visible to search engines. So click this and you're going to see some things you can do with read settings and things. But the main thing you want to look up down here is where it says search engine visibility. If you have not done this yet, this box right here next to discourage search engines from indexing this site is going to be checked. That basically means that it's going to be hard to find this website anywhere until you uncheck that. So if you're comfortable with the way that the way your website looks, now again, you can change this whenever you want. You can update pages, you can do all that stuff. You want this website out there. If you're using Engage, they're using your faves and saves, they're going to start looking on your website. You need to uncheck this box and hit save changes. Once you do that, you will be able to, your website will be able to be indexed on search engines, which basically means it's going to be a little easier for everybody to find you. Again, do not think that you're going to get 750 leads this week just by doing these things though. Okay. All right. Last step. How many people on here have their own domain? So let's throw it in the chat. Let me know if you own your own domain. So I own jimmymcnally.com. Let's see. I see. Yes. Yes. A lot of people do that, right? All right, cool. So you're going to want to do this step because we don't want that really long URL. You know, what does it say? Chris Reed, C21 Chris Reed -Century21 Beggins sites. That's just a lot going on. So what you're going to want to do is if you own and even if you don't, you're still going to click this to set up a vanity domain, only if you want to. If you don't want to set up a vanity domain, you're fine with what it looks like, what the URL is. Awesome. Have fun. You're done. Don't worry about doing anything else. Your website's ready to go. You will want to come back actually and just double check on the SSL cert. You're definitely going to want to go back and just double check that to make sure. So the first thing you're going to do is when you get to this domain mapping, so this can get very confusing and very scary sometimes when you talk about DNS and all the CNAME, all these different things that you're going to have to do. It can be a little confusing. So they try to make it as easy as possible, and they have some help documents that I'll send out to walk you through the kind of redirection, if you want to call it, of your, like, again, jimmymcnally.com to my Moxie website. So for your first one, if you haven't done this before, you're just going to see this long one up here that says, in this case, C20 Chris Reed -C21 Beggins, right? So you're going to see something similar, and that's going to be what your URL is. So the first thing you're going to do, it says, do you have a custom domain? If you don't, feel free, click on this. It does cost money. Okay, it's not free to get a domain. Just checking this. Okay, so Elizabeth, this is good for you. So I do not have it. Okay, so if you do not, but again, you don't have to do this. You do not have to pay for you don't have to have a domain, but some agents like it. I like being able to put jimmymcnally.com on a business card. You can go and buy one. So by clicking get started here, look for your name. So I want thatrealtor.com. Let's see if that even is a thing. See if it's available. What do you know? An exact match is available. If I wanted to, for $16.99 for the year, I can buy batrealtor.com and have it pointed to my website here. Now, again, you do have to pay, but I'm just letting you know that that is an option, and Moxie has it tied specifically to it. So it's supposed to be so much more easier than having to log into GoDaddy and stuff like that. But if you already have bought it, like I use GoDaddy, that's what you have to use to kind of do this forwarding here. let's see, when I Google my domain, it opens up my century21.com profile.
Yeah.
So
So when I
walk me through
Google
that real
my
quick.
name, when I Google amycamasso.com, this is what comes up, which is century21.com. So should I change it?
So do you have your own, do you already have a website that you've had set up like for you, or is that actually Century 21's website?
It's just century21.com, real estate agent profile, Amy Camasso. So
Well, eventually what will happen as you start kind of rolling out your website, a lot of like, because Google is used to searching for certain things and finding them. So once you get your website up and going, obviously you can do Google My Business and you can set that up to go to the correct one. Eventually Zap will change. So as you start, because right now with Century 21, they're going to push to whatever website is in Dash right now. So they're going to all push towards that. So once we switch all that for you, you shouldn't be running into that as much, if that makes
so
sense.
I can change it.
I mean, you can.
Okay.
Wait, what is the website?
Well, it's amycamasso.com, but it's feeding it into the century21.com Amy Camasso profile.
No, we're gonna feed you. We're gonna feed that differently here in a minute. You're gonna have to go into, who did you get your domain through?
Like GoDaddy or
Okay,
something.
so I'll kind of walk you through that, but you can actually change that so it doesn't go to that one. It's gonna go to this one here.
Okay.
Okay. And that's kind of what we're gonna get into. So if you already do have your custom domain, or once you go and pay for it, you're gonna come down here to where it says domain to be redirected. Okay, so and then what you're gonna do here is this is where you're gonna put your domain. So if it's amycamasso.com, this is what you're gonna put here and put check to make sure that that is a correct domain. And then what will happen as it resets, you can see here that I have currently 2 domains. And you will end up seeing, like it should pop up here on the right. You should see the new one, but it's grayed out. So once you, whatever that new domain is going to be called, if it's jimmymcnally.com, if it's amycamasso.com, you already own it, whatever it is. If it's joealetto.com, you're going to put this in here to the one that you want to have redirected, and you're just going to check it. And then once you check it, it'll say that it's good to go. Now, this is where it gets a little bit confusing. And this is where if you're, let's say, doing GoDaddy, you're going to have to look at this. But to go to this next step, you actually have to log in for the domain provider. So if you're going to Google, if you're at GoDaddy, you have to log into GoDaddy, go to your amycamasso.com domain. Then you're going to actually look for domain settings and DNS settings. And right now, these are going to be pointed at something different. You actually have to go in when you look at the records, and you're going to see you're going to need to change these. And let me show you that real quick, because this can be a little confusing. This is a lot easier than when we first launched, because when we first launched, we had to send something up to support, and it was so confusing. And this is too. And for anyone in my brokerage, okay, so anybody that works for Century 21 Beggins, call me, and I will help you. I'll help walk you through all this stuff. I hope this is the right password. Okay, so when I'm in, this is basically what you're going to have to do. So I'm going to go to my domain. I'm going to go to manage DNS. I am not forwarding the website, okay? I'm not forwarding it. One of the things it's going to tell you to do if you come back to this is, does it say it not to do it? All right, this can be rent. Okay, so if you're already redirecting, let's say Amy Camasso to another one, this is saying that if you leave that rule in place, it could screw up actually how this is working correctly. So what you'll want to do is when you come down here, you should see, and this is GoDaddy, it's a little different for each one. So, but this originally was pointed to my Zap website. What you want to do is you want to basically deactivate, take that off. We don't want to forward this website anywhere. And then once that's done, well, and I can't even manage my DNS records right now because Moxie has already done it. So I'd have to actually change it. But what you'll actually do is you will find when you're managing your DNS, you're going to look for something called CNAME and A. And all you're going to do is change what the IP address is there and change. Mine said jimmymcnally.com. I'm changing it to this dugout.moxieworks.com. Now this takes up to 48 hours, so don't expect it to work right away, but it may. Once you have done that, okay, you're going to click here and click initiate domain verification. And then what that's basically going to do is they were just look at it on Moxie's end just to make sure that it's good. You'll get an email saying everything is good to go on your standpoint. And then you're going to see this option right here is now able to choose. So at first, when you put your URL, you can't actually check this box. And the last thing you'll do is click set primary domain, click that one and click set primary domain. And this is how cool this is, because no matter like our Zap one, when you forward a website, normally it'd be jimmymcnally.com and then it goes to the really crazy ass one that Zap or whatever it does. This will always stay. This will always stay chrisreedrealtor.com/property search, jimmymcnally.com/bio. So it's always going to be this, not that super long just pointing thing that you have there. Now, Donna says, if you haven't purchased your own domain name, do you recommend using MoxieWorks to purchase versus WordPress? You can do whatever you want, Donna. I mean, if you're comfortable with WordPress, you can use MoxieWorks, you can use GoDaddy, you can use Google Domains, if that's what you want to do. I'm not saying you have to go out and buy a domain. You do not have to do that. But if you don't want that long one, that's going to be something you have to decide on your standpoint what you want to do. But all of them, you can go in and you can actually adjust these things. So even if it is WordPress, even if it's, like I said, Google Domains, or you're using Moxie to be able to get your domain, you're still going to have to change these there. Hopefully that answered your question. All right, so we are at 2:55, so we are getting really close to the hour long. So what I want to do real quick is I'm going to show you one more thing, and then I'm going to play around with, show you what I've done on my website, which may get you a little bit more pumped up to want to play around with website building a little bit and do your own thing. But first, I want to show you site pages. So this site page here, I did tell you to stay on home almost all the time. These are all the pages that are going to be on your website. So if you click site pages, you're going to see everything. Now, you will see some that will say hidden. Like you'll see reviews and testimonials down here is hidden. So that means it's not showing up on my website. I can actually click here and click show, and then it will pop up on my website. So at any time, if I don't want I don't want this financial calculator on my website, I can click hide, and now it's not pulling up on my website. So if you're working on something like your testimonials, you can hide them so the public doesn't see them right away, if you want to. This is also how you can maneuver things around. So when we looked at his website, right, you see home, properties, buy, sell, about me, and neighborhood news. You see this, you see home, properties, buy, sell, about me. You can see that we have the blog hidden because he doesn't have one, and neighborhood news. Same exact thing, right? Well, you can actually take these, and let's say, for instance, you want to take this price positioning and you want to put it under neighborhood news. I can literally put this wherever I want. Now I have price positioning under the property search. Or what if I want that above? I don't even want to talk about buying and selling. How cool is that? You couldn't do that with Zap, but you could just, based on what you've already made, which already done for you, you can just maneuver it around where you want. What if I want my sold listings to be very first? That's what I want. I'm going to show. You can do that. So then when I go back here, just to show you, I need to refresh it. You know, what did I change again? I changed property search. I want my sold listings first, right? Properties. Oh, didn't update. Oh, shnikes. Oh, I guess I need to hit. I probably need to hit publish. That might be a good idea. Always publish or always save if you do some work and it doesn't work right. And you'll see here. My sold listings is first. All right, now let me show you my website. So pretty basic upfront agent perspective, little custom search for waterfront properties all over Tampa. And then I actually added some videos. So this is literally where I dress up as Batman and do outtakes and stuff like that, or preview a home. And it's cool because on my website here, it's tied directly to YouTube. So it will play directly on your website. Okay, we don't need to worry about that. But little fun little things that makes my website a little bit different. Now, some of the other things I did also is, let's say, for instance, I did a Beggins partnership page. So we have a lot of different partners that we use, different programs and things like that. And I have a website that's specifically tied to that. So you can see our special programs and partners. This is Knock, something we call it Home Swap, but we work with Knock. And then you have some things where how you can, our rent out any home program, which is our home partners affiliate that we work with. So just some little things. And if you look at the website, again, it's jimmymcnally.com/Beggins partnerships, because that's what I called it. So if I wanted to promote this on Facebook or something like that, I could literally just copy this and push this. And when people click on it, it'll take them to this page, which is my website, which is pretty cool. And then I even have one for I'll show you, this will be the last one I'll show you here. And then I'll show you how to do a quick, well, it's not quick, but. So this is just kind of talking about Century 21 Beggins, all of our locations. This even has our pricing, our strategic marketing presentation built into it. So I could send this part, which is one of my, I might actually be making this my homepage. Even has a call to action down here for them to actually ask some questions. Pretty cool. Feel free to look at it. It's jimmymcnally.com. Have fun. Go ahead and do that. And then I'm going to leave you with this last little thing on if you really want to make some custom things and play around with them. You literally will click add new. Now here's where we're going to get a little bit, like if we're doing property page, profile page, menu items, I'm just going to call it custom page for now. And if you actually go to create a custom page, it's very basic up front. And it's not going to be super, super crazy. So I'm going to save this real quick. So I'm going to name the page, and then where I would spend the time, if you want to play around, don't go crazy again. Don't spend hours and hours and hours and hours doing this stuff. But if there's a specific page that you want, you're going to click on builder, and it's going to take you to a blank page where you can actually add a whole bunch of stuff. The easiest thing I can tell you if you are going to play around with this, if you're not a web designer or anything like that, is go to this templates section here. And then you're going to see where that Moxie Works has a ton of templates that are already done for you. You can look at landing pages if you want to add a landing page to your website. If you want to, you can do that. If you want to do content pages, you can do that. But these are things that are already made for you. So let's say, for instance, I'm going to use this one as an example. Work smarter, not harder. Success leaves clues. So if people have already done this stuff, steal it and make it your own. I'm just kidding. Don't steal it, but So basically come in here and change this stuff around. Let's say, for instance, you like the look of this. You can see what the web page is going to look like. You can actually change this background photo here if I want it to look like something different. I can actually change the verbiage that we have in here and what it says. I'm just going to save that. Look at this website. It even says Jimmy is awesome. Like, who wouldn't want this website? You can change the photos. Again, it's a little bit different to get around on here, but I can come in here and I can select the photo. And I'm building my own web page here. I'm literally building a web page. All right, I got a question that popped up. Let's see. So if I love a neighborhood, I could make a custom page for it. Yes. Yes. Hands down, I would. If you have something very specific, if you have like, and you could make multiples, you could just put the area and you could literally come over here where it says properties. And what if it said water set? And they click on it. You have a page that's set up for it where it has the search built into it. And then it has maybe some information about water set. And then what if you did Mirror Bay? And what if you did Caribbean Isles? And what if you did South Shore Falls? And what if, I mean, all these different, I'm just throwing stuff out there. You feasibly could, but again, your website is only going to be as good as the people that are using it. If you're going to make a page like that, make sure you're sending that out for it. I know I'm like, I'm helping some people with some of the pages. So again, with the Beggins Crew, just reach out to me if you have some questions. I'll be glad to kind of point you in the right direction to try to help you. Now what I will do here, so remember when I said I was talking about the widgets. So if you want to add let's say I have this page and I want to add my real satisfied stuff, right? I'm going to go to what they call modules. Think of these modules as if I wanted to throw a photo here, if I wanted to put a set like a line, if I want to put a heading, or I could click this and I'm going to go down to widgets. There's a real satisfied widget. So if I wanted to, let's say I want it right there. So this is where you're going to have to go into your RSS feed for real satisfied. And you literally can get a vanity key. And once you get this vanity key, let me go back to his website real quick because it should be set up. Nope. You know what? I do not have it set up on his. Boo, boo, boo. All right, so this is kind of cool. This is what that widget would look like if you load it in there. So this widget here, if I added it to that page, it literally will look like this. And I have it set up to kind of rotate for about every 5 seconds. And it shows Chris has been rated by 74 clients. Satisfaction is 99%, performance is 100%. And then here are his testimonials. And if you like that, hide the other one that you made when you come in here. It's pretty cool. So, okay, it's 6 after. I don't want to take any more time. Let me stop sharing this real quick. All right, so thank you everybody for jumping on. I don't want to take any more time for today. I will be sending this out along with links and all the good stuff that I already talked about today. If you're going to get into your website and get it set up and ready to rock and roll, just keep in mind, your bio picture, your bio, your picture, your social media accounts, and that new URL that is going to be there for your Moxie website. You want to get that to your whoever handles your dash, if it's admin, manager, or whatever it is, to make sure that gets updated, so it gets updated across the board for you. So just kind of keep that in mind, and then look for my email. That will give you the support websites where you can go watch some videos on some of this stuff. And again, for the Beggins peeps, let me know if you need anything else. Feel free to reach out and we can work through it. So thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for interacting. I appreciate it. I'm not saying anybody else didn't interact, but you were kind of,
Well, I
you were
told
there,
you
so I had to.
this. I really needed this. So thank you.
You're very welcome. Thank you. Thank you.